Philippines suspends the deployment of workers to Qatar after several Gulf states severed ties with Doha. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello says the deployment suspension covers Qatar-bound workers whose papers are being processed and those who are ready for deployment. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Yemen, and the Maldives cut diplomatic ties with Qatar for its alleged support for terrorists. Qatar denied this. Bello says the government is anticipating problems in Qatar that may affect Filipino workers there, like a food shortage. He says, quote, "If anything happens, they run out of food, our OFWs will be the first victims." Bello adds the Philippines and Qatar have strong diplomatic ties. Qatar was among the 3 countries that Duterte included in his Middle East trip in April. Government forces on Tuesday arrest the father of the Maute brothers and 4 other individuals in Davao City. The Philippine National Police says police and soldiers intercepted Kayamora Maute, father of the Maute brothers, being hunted for sowing terror in Marawi City. The others arrested were identified as Benzarali Tingao, Norjana Balawag Maute, Kongan Alfonso Balawag, and Aljon Salazar Ismael. Norjana Balawag Maute is identified as Maute's daughter. Both Kayamora and Norjana Maute are in the wanted posters released by the PNP. The Supreme Court sets the dates for oral arguments on the petition against martial law in Mindanao on June 13 to 15. SC spokesman Ted Tess says the High Court also ordered Solicitor General Jose Calida to file his comment on or before June 12. A preliminary conference for both parties is also scheduled on that day. Calida will represent Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, and Armed Forces General Eduardo Año. Lorenzana and Año are martial law administrator and implementer, respectively. The Constitution has a 30-day deadline for the High Court to decide on the legality of a martial law declaration from the day a petition against it is filed. Opposition lawmakers on Monday filed a petition seeking to nullify President Rodrigo Duterte's May 23 declaration of martial law in Mindanao because it is, quote, bereft of sufficient factual basis. Malacanang insists that President Rodrigo Duterte respects Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio and his views on the administration's foreign policy. Carpio repeatedly warned Duterte against making too many concessions to Beijing on the West Philippine Sea dispute. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says Manila and Beijing are now in bilateral talks to discuss the thorny issue. Abella says, quote, "Confrontation does not serve the interest of our country, and that's why we are committed to a process of engagement and negotiation that will ensure our rights are respected and protected well into the future." Carpio has also cautioned Duterte against statements that could be taken to mean the Philippines is waiving sovereignty over any territory in the West Philippine Sea. Duterte, in response, described Carpio as always talking and accused him of doing nothing to resolve the issue. Abella says Duterte is determined to protect the country's rights in the West Philippine Sea while avoiding a conflict with China. Duterte previously said he cannot raise the Philippines' victory over China in The Hague because of Chinese President Xi Jinping's threat of war. But Carpio says the Philippines can sue the Asian giant for making this threat. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan speaks to Qatar and neighboring Arab states in efforts to find a solution to the Gulf crisis. A presidential spokesman says Erdogan, quote, has initiated diplomatic efforts to resolve this dispute between friends and brothers in line with the spirit of the holy month of Ramadan. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Yemen, and the Maldives cut diplomatic ties with Qatar Monday for allegedly supporting extremism. Erdogan has not yet publicly commented on the crisis. He also supposedly discussed the crisis with Russian President Vladimir Putin.